Hello guys, welcome back once again to this new tarot reading. This time I wanted to continue with Got7 members. I have been asked to do Jinyoung. I have seen a few about his energies in his birth chart, and he is a Virgo with the moon in Aries. And he has interesting energies: Venus in Scorpio, Mars in Cancer, Mercury in Libra. So he is he has a lot of energies. It's like a lot of like he has a lot of energies in different elements, in different signs that are ruled by different elements, so he can be really complex. That's why I think he's much more like, he's not the typical Virgo guy. He's actually he embodies pretty much all the other energies. I can see definitely his moon in Aries because of the way he stares, and also there's something about moon in Aries males that their thick eyebrows, the way they stare, they have like prominent lips, so, and they are very masculine, but not when it comes to physical features. Is the way they move, it's the way they use the features they have. Because actually he's very Virgo like, in the sense he's very pleasant to look at, but sometimes Virgo male, like I have talked about Virgo energy, because we have a lot of idols that are Virgo signs. So actually Virgo male is not the typical handsome male. They tend to be actually, I mean, their attractiveness lies in their character, in the way they speak, in the way they interact. They are very funny, they are very eloquent, they are really smart. They're a bit awkward when it comes to social events, but actually they are very communicative and they are really smart. They know about everything. You can have long conversations with them and you would never get bored because they know everything about each subject. But in the case of Jinyoung, I have the feeling that he has this more masculine energy to him. He has an intensity also. It's like, I don't know why, but he gives me this. It's not that he's threatening, but I believe he can be a bit scary or a bit intimidating, because he gives me this, I don't know why, but he gives me like a Scorpio vibes, that if you don't behave, or if you don't do what he wants, that he will attack you. So, and that if he attacks you, he's going to do it in a very sneaky and subtle way. He's not going to punch you directly in the face, but he's going to wait at the right moment to get back at you. So I don't know, there's maybe it's his Mars in Cancer, that his Mars in Cancer tend to be these passive aggressive people, that they can be smiling at you and somehow they can be cursing at you in silence. They have this rage bottled up inside of them and hidden behind this loving and caring energy, but actually they're very intimidating. So that's what I get from his energy. So let's start with the archetype cards that came out for him. The first card that came out for him is the archetype of the rebel. Then the other one is the god, and the other one is the slave. So definitely I got this like from his moon in Aries. That's why I think that moon is very, and is very prominent in his decisions and the way he moves and the way he reacts, and he is very honest and straightforward about his own passions and about what he likes and what he doesn't like. It's like he's very honest in that sense. He's strategic enough to wait for the right moment to deliver what he thinks, but when he does, he's very sharp. He goes straight to the point. He's very secure about what his decisions are and where he stands. And yes, he can be a little bit emotional in the sense that sometimes he can get carried away and be a bit like be a bit rushed, or his decisions are based on a whim or are based on a sudden like a sudden instinct that he has. So he's very spontaneous in the sense. So I have the feeling that yes, he is the rebel. He's not the typical Virgo male, that he tends to work for others and serve others and be available for others. Actually, it's not that he doesn't like to help and participate and serve others. It's just that he would like to use his energy and his willpower and his passion to be free, to at the end of the day make his own path, make his own history, make his own dreams come true. And the way he does it is very rebel. It's like that's why he hides very well behind this Virgo neat characteristic. You see him and you're like, oh, he's so polite, he's so well mannered, he's so kind, he's so considerate. And actually yes, he is, but behind of that there's this inner desire for him to actually go against everything that has been established before. So that's why I think he gets along very well with JB. And actually I think he had talked JB to open his mind a little bit, because JB entered, like I had spoke about them in the prior reading that I did for him. JB with all this Capricorn energy, he was a very traditionalist, and he also was very a goal getter, like in a sense that he had his mind on the prize, his eyes on the prize, I mean. But at the same time he wanted to go in a traditional way. So this is where these two come together with their earth energies, that you see them and you are like, oh, they are making a great team together. They are very hardworking, they are very consistent, they don't mind to put in the effort, they are very they are very professional. So you see this earth element in them working together. But once they are involved in the process, it's like the ideas and the originality starts to come out, and they start to express more of their real self, and the ideas start to flow. And maybe the ideas are not the typical like the standard ideas of maybe what the company would want them maybe to write about, or to, I mean, they have inside of them, they had this very hidden almost like dream about what they could achieve, and it's like they hide it very well, they hid it really well, until they had the power and they had the tools to work and to make it true. So they must have been a real surprise to JYP, especially because in a sense that JYP, I believe he's also a Capricorn. So I think that it makes sense that he actually chooses a lot of people with Capricorn energy in when I see these idols under his company. They are, or either they're Capricorn themselves, especially the leaders, they have really strong Capricorn vibes, or maybe they are Taurus, Virgo, very Virgo males too. So I think he has like in his mind he wants the talented people, but he also wants the hardworking people. It's like he doesn't want the whining, emotional, um, empathic and crying kind of type. Actually, he watches that a lot. If he sees that maybe you are too emotional and you start crying out of nowhere, he's not going to pick you. He's not going to cast you for his company. He values someone that is very bulletproof in the sense that they can overcome anything that you throw at them. So in the case of JB, yes, there's a rebel inside of him, and also we have the god archetype that also is this, and also I see his moon in Aries in this also because I think he has like he's very generous and he's very benevolent and he's really fair to others and he always consider others, but at the same time he has this grandiose idea of himself. It's like he knows he is different. He feels like the chosen one. So I don't know if maybe because I believe that his upbringing was a bit more joyful, that was a bit fun, and also that he had been someone's favorite since he was born, since he was really young. I don't know if maybe in his family he was the only boy or he was but he was the favorite. I have the feeling that he was someone's favorite and that this person made him always told him that he was special, like he was a little prince. So I have the feeling that he goes around with that image of himself to everywhere he goes, and he has this kind of pride of himself also, and also because I see that he's been very in touch with his inner child. I believe he's very childish sometimes, because I think he's going to have a bit of. He is going to be in a while since he can mature. I don't think if he will ever mature at all. I think he will always have this kind of mischievous and this very childish and selfish attitude, because it's part of who he is. Actually, he likes it. He likes to. He feels blessed. He feels very loved. He's someone that is very loved. So he is very. His vision of the world is very expansive, and he's very open-minded, and he feels really lucky. He feels really lucky, and also he wants to have fun. He wants to experience. I believe his true purpose is to be a very true manifestation of his own desires, what he really wants inside. That's why he has the less archetype is the slave card, and the slave card, it means about sacrificing and always like being willing to somehow be used by others. So that others can achieve their own goals. So if we think about this cat next to this slave, it can mean that he's willing to sacrifice himself in order to be maybe a public figure and to be in the spotlight and to be a celebrity or to be an artist that is always dealing with exposure in a sense, or maybe that his work or his art can somehow that it can inspire others to be a bit more like him. I believe that sometimes he portrays a confidence, or maybe he portrays a certain character that is very far away of who he is or how he feels inside. But he does it to entertain people, so that's why I think he's a great entertainer. And I think that this slave archetype it's about that. It's about being a great performer and being a great artist, so that you can, so that your work, your efforts and your expressions can inspire others to be a bit more like you, in a sense, so that others can identify themselves in you, so that they can see parts of you that they would like to imitate, maybe. But like I said, this sometimes this, like we all know, sometimes what we see being played in the media, or maybe being played on award shows, or whatever that it's on, that it's displayed, sometimes it's not who the real artist is inside. Maybe we can get a glimpse of their true feelings when we read lyrics, maybe. But whenever we're thinking about them playing a role or something like that, they are very different. But he doesn't mind to put his work or put his art and his skills, so that he can inspire you, or he can inspire people that somehow can take the message that he delivers, and that they can feel better with what he does. So let's go with the tarot cards that came out for him. The tarot cards that came out, it's the Nine of Chalices, the Ten of Chalices, the Eight of Chalices, the King of Chalices, Strength, the Three of Swords, Justice, the Nine of Swords, Five of Chalice, and Six of Chalice. So yes, a lot of chalices. In this tarot deck, chalices represent the cup suits. So he's very emotional. He's someone that is very, he's been driven by passion right now, and everything that he does is moved by passion. So I have the feeling that he's going through a period of a lot of sensitivity, but I think I have this perception of him actually being really emotional and being really sensitive, because it's what it requires in a role that he's playing, or maybe something that he's working on. Um, he needs to be that emotional. He needs to be that vulnerable. It's like he needs to bring all the emotions and all the sentiment and all the feelings to the table, because somehow this project he's working on is needed. It's like it is what is required of him to do. So because I don't see him like being emotionally and out of control, like crying all over the place, just because I see that it has to do with some work. He's doing some work that needs this kind of channeling of emotions. So, wow, like I cannot wait to see what kind of role that is, but it's someone that it's very emotional, or maybe someone that I don't know, like the plot, or some the story that he has to play it's a story that is really heartbreaking, or something like that. It's very, and he needs to somehow being able to portray that, and in order to do so, he has to dive really into himself and to get those emotions out. And I think that this is a great way also for himself to be able to somehow being able to expose, or to express some of the feelings that he had been keeping inside of himself in the last 3 or 4 years. It's like they went through a lot emotionally in the group, I believe. he had been through a lot in his personal life. I don't know about, because I don't see a specific person here, but I have the feeling that he had been involved romantically with someone, that this experience with this person was really deep and really meaningful. It was like a strong bond, emotional bond. Um, I don't think they're together now. That's why I cannot see who it is. But he learned a lot about relationships, and he learned a lot about that sometimes love is pain, and sometimes love is deception, and sometimes love is about to have the ability to let go when the feelings, actually when their interactions are not very healthy, or maybe I have the feeling that this person that he was with was very demanding of him emotionally, or somehow wanted to manipulate him to show more, or wanted to provoke him emotionally, look, to sabotage him emotionally in order to make him lose control somehow. And it wasn't a good experience. I mean, it worked for a while, but then in the last period it was very toxic. And he also was dealing with the group and with the company, and all these things that he knew that there were some things that were coming to an end, that he didn't want to admit, that there were things that were being, they were they were like very meaningful bonds that he had, that were being spoiled somehow, that were like, I don't know why I have the feeling of being rotten, of being ruined, or being petrified, like, when a fruit goes bad and it starts to rotten inside. Well, that's what was happening, while all other things were also coming to an end. So it was something that emotionally for him was like too much. Like, I think he saw also the true face, the true intentions of a lot of people that supported him or supported the group. A lot of people that disguised themselves as friends and said that they wanted him to be okay, and they wish him the best, and somehow he saw that they were really uh, dishonest, and that they were really they were also manipulative. I have the feeling that he was surrounded by a lot of manipulative people, because there are a lot of cops here. So, and I don't think it's the members, but I think that these people, especially this group of people, that this ex of his was also involved in this group. That's why I think they were friends. When he knew that he was having trouble with the company, the group was having trouble with the company, they were like advising him in the wrong way. Like, they were trying to, they said that they care about him, and that he needed to do the best for himself. It's like they tried to make him like to think about his own desires, and not to focus on what the group wanted. So I think he realized very soon that he was being manipulated, because they were like, oh, but you have to save yourself, don't worry about the others, something like that. And that was like the final moment that he realized that these people were no good for him, because they were like, they were playing with his emotions, and also with the closeness that he had with them. So for him, it was, now that he's working on this, he's like reviewing all that. He's like reliving all those emotions, and he is not he's not really comfortable, but at the same time, it's something that he needed to be done. So this opportunity is some kind of therapy for him. So I don't know if maybe he's going to a acting coach or someone that has like the has this kind of a way of working with actors that that this person somehow is like it pushes the actors to dive very deep into their emotions and to get really into the character. So it's some kind of tactic. It's some kind of a style of acting. So, and it's really profound actually. That's why it's touching very intimate fibers of his own self or his own persona, of his own heart and his own soul. So it's like a soul journey for him. That he didn't think it would be so deep, but actually he needed this experience, and well, it will also help him to have some more deepness, maybe to add a bit of more deepness to his work and to his role and to his interpretation and also to his participation. So I think he's going in a very he's going in the right direction. He's taking the right decisions, and he is. What I think is admirable of this situation is that he's using all this pain and all this deception, all this heartbreak. He's using it in order to work on himself, and also he's using it for his profession. So this is very admirable. I think it's a great way to try to make sense. Sometimes we go through situations that are traumatic and we go through them like very automatically, to just thinking that, well, maybe life is this way. You have to think that they are, since they are in public images, sometimes and very often they are surrounded by disappointments, emotional disappointments, and that if they don't find a way to heal themselves or find, I don't know, some kind of activity or some kind of therapy or some kind of something that can help them overcome the damage that had been done. They can carry it with themselves, and then somehow they end up spoiling their careers. They end up getting into rumors. They end up doing a lot of reckless things and actions in order to somehow try to maintain a certain control of their life, and also trying to deny the hurt that had been done to them, because actually when you are in the spotlight, people don't care about your emotions. People care about your hairstyle. People care about the color of your lenses. People care about the new clothes that you're wearing, or the new brand that you're promoting. People don't care about who they are, or what they are struggling inside. They just care about the package of the celebrity. I know that the fans obviously have a deep connection with them in a very a deep bond, in a very emotional way, but sometimes all of them, all of these idols, go through very traumatic situations that they will maybe never recover from it. Some do, some don't. But yes, of course, there's nothing a fandom can do, because these are personal matters, and the person has to go through a process of self-discovery on their own. That's why it's self-discovery, it's not up to others, it's up to you. But it is influenced by others. It is influenced and it is triggered by other people's actions towards you. So in this case, I think he's healing, I think he's connecting. I think it's necessary for him to relieve all this pain, so that he can he can enjoy life again, and so that he can open up again in the future to maybe having a bit of a more loving and a more accepting relationship, and that it somehow won't affect his personal decisions in the future, so that he doesn't think or go around being distrustful and thinking that everyone is this harmful, because no, not everyone is the same. but but yes, he needed this as a reminder that sometimes people are not who they say they are, and people that say that they want the best for you, somehow they do it thinking from the perspective of what they can gain out of it. So yes, this is what I have for Jinyoung. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a like and enjoy. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.